If you have ever struggled with childhood trauma, follow these steps and advice I'm going to give you in order to bring forth balance within yourself and for you to transmute that energy completely. Peace unto you. My name is Nadiie, and today is all about balancing childhood trauma. See, at a foundation, what you must anchor about childhood trauma is before incarnation, you and Source, A.K.A. God, set up a perfect plan in order for you to align yourself with the complete abundance of your birthright. Now, it does not matter what comes forth in your life, you must always have this stable foundation. Life is happening for me, not to me. If you say life is happening to you, then you are planting seeds of doubt, and it does not matter what technique I give you. It doesn't matter what technique any master or guru gives you. If you have seeds of doubt and you aren't consciously aware of them, one, or you aren't consciously walking on a path to rid yourself of them, you're simply watering them. Not making a choice to do something about it is making a choice. So once you have that figured out, okay, life is happening for me, not to me. I understand that on some level. Everything happens for a reason. God is very limitless in his perspective, and it's being processed. Now, what you can do is you must align yourself with timelessness, okay? Step one was all about freeing yourself from the perspective that the world is just this enemy and this con game, all right? Step two is aligning yourself with timelessness. Why? Every single day you die and you're reborn, okay? Every single day you die and you're birthed again, all right? I'm going to give you some sacred information about divine lines, aka timelines. You have a infinite amount of versions of you that exist. The moment you came out your mother's womb, an infinite amount of yous were born in that moment. God is very secure and very fluid with the way it operates and brings forth solutions. Okay? No longer is it just operating with just one being. It's going to say, I'm going to not only create this version of Nadiie, but I'm going to create a version of Nadiie for every possible timeline. And the consciousness is going to project itself in the version that aligns with whatever it deems as serving the most. That is wonderful. That means literally life is in your hands. At any given moment, if you want to change something, there's a you out there that you can align with. You can adjust yourself to that frequency, and boom, you have just became that aspect of whatever you deem as serving. So, with that, you must note that you must shift your perspective, because if you feel like, for example, the childhood trauma is something that is like hovering over you, you must understand that that is of the past. So what you can do is you can align yourself with a version of you that is either outside of time, or you can align yourself with a version of you that was from the past that got it together. You can change the molecular structure of your actual memory by using these type of techniques, aligning yourself with a version of you that's from the past. Well, how do you do that, Nadiie? It's as simple as sitting down, releasing expectations. Do not allow any steps or imagination to come within your essence, within your mind's eye on how to do something. You simply create the intention, God, guide me to a version of me from my past that had it all figured out. You have that intention, you hold it, you sit with it. Now, once you've sat with it, close your eyes, take your deep breath, visualize your body with light. Only visualize your body. Do not visualize your space, your environment, nothing. You hold on to that intention with your light body. Now, eventually, as you're holding on to that intention, you'll literally see yourself. It may not be the you in this body. It may be a different aspect of you. You'll see something and you'll be like, I feel like that's me. Have that version of you sit down where you're sitting. Boom. You've aligned yourself with that frequency. Now, your past literally changed just like that. So, when you get to this point, this is some sacred information. If you don't believe that this is true, that's fine. Test it out though. Test it out. It does not hurt for you to test it out. I promise you, your life will change. You'll be like, something is a little different. It's going to take about 3 days for everything to settle in and for the frequency to balance and ground itself. This is some extremely truthful information. Once that frequency is within you, now you are essentially balancing what you used to think with how you're thinking now. You have to transmute the past that you was currently in the frequency and the realm of with this new past. So it's essentially a version of time travel, but don't get too caught up in time, because time in itself is not linear. Everything is simultaneous. Everything is happening at once. It's not just something that is there and is gone when you grow up. That's not how time operates. So once you anchor that, you have to consciously make the effort to forgive yourself and forgive all others that was a part of a frequency that you no longer deem as serving. You have to step into the frequency of forgiveness. You must step into the frequency of forgiveness, or this is not going to work. Because if you have some form of attachment, anger is attachment, doubt is attachment, resistance is attachment to that past, to that person that you felt like did you dirty, then this new frequency that you've stepped in is going to say, by law of free will, the more you focus on that reality and not this reality, I have to leave. Because you're literally kicking me out by not grounding and focusing on this new reality. Now, once you've aligned yourself with this step, step 2, step 3. Step 3 is a being process. Step 3 is do what your inner child loves. If it's playing the game, if it's making mud pies, if it's cooking, it does not matter what it is. Be your inner child. Scream, laugh. If you have a deep voice and you just want to laugh with a high voice and ha 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 and all of that, you must anchor that fact and anchor that now. The more you align yourself with what your inner child loves, you shift your perspective on what childhood frequency is, and now you no longer view a child or childhood in its entirety as a burden. That is extremely important for you to anchor. You do not want to see it as a burden, because if you see it as a burden, you align with the old frequency that you literally just left by using these techniques and steps. They work, I promise you. Your goal is to, no matter what happens, no matter what the case is, for at least 3 days, step 3, for at least 3 days, 3 more days, all right, this is a week-long process. The first step is 1 day, the second step is 3 days, this third step is another 3 days. You be a child. You be a child. With everything. That does not mean be childish. The ish means you're forcing something. You be a child. What does a child do? Look at children. What do? They are beings that are not of doubt. They are beings that are simply in the now. They don't care what is right. They don't care what is wrong. They are just going to be in the now. They're going to do what is the most loving thing. They have a natural frequency of love. They're not going to do something extremely left field unless some outside force tampers with that natural base frequency. This is proven when you go to, Eastern cultures that's near the mountains, and like the monks and stuff, you have children that are literally floating, children that are like spiritual masters. Don't tell me that the child is the issue when it's clearly the parent or any outside force. It could be the school the child goes through, and then when the child comes back home, the parent is not reinforcing that love-based frequency because it just does not care, or it has allowed the world to be such a weight on its shoulders. Do not allow the world to be a weight on your shoulders, because there are kids in other cultures that are like spiritual master gurus, because their parents understood that we must allow this child to have this baseline frequency always and guide this child to have this baseline love frequency always. If you're interested in booking a one-on-one session with me to continue dialogue like this, click that link in the bio. And if you're also interested in joining our mystery school, also click that link in the bio. But DM me first and I'll give you our free 3-day course, because if you aren't willing to integrate at least 3 days with God, why are you trying to join a mystery school? With that, we say welcome home.